Hello, my lovely souls. This is Julie with Into Heart Space, and I'm here doing a special reading. We have the presidential debates coming up tomorrow, Hillary versus Donald, and I thought it would be interesting just to do a spread on both Hillary and Donald next to each other and see what energies are surrounding them for the debates. So, let's look at that. Now remember, this is for fun, and I know that politics can sometimes bring out not the best in people, so I am not allowing comments on this video just because we don't need to go down a sassafras road of pain and treachery towards each other. We can just look at this and take it in and watch the debates and see what happens. So let's do that. Okay. What is the energy around the debates for Hillary and Donald for October 9th, 2016, the second debates for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump? Okay. Let's do a couple more shuffles. I call in the highest of light, the highest of energy to guide us on this reading. Highest of light, highest of energy. Okay. Okay, so first we're going to pick for Hillary. Ladies first. 1, 2, 7. Okay. So Hillary and Donald. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's see here. So this is Hillary. And then Donald. Okay. Okay. And then the overarching theme or energy. Oh, how interesting. The 7 of Swords. Okay. So, let's talk about this first. The overarching for both of them is the 7 of Swords. So sometimes this is like the shyster card. It's, having everything you need but wanting more. Also, it can be of trickery, tomfoolery, of taking what is not yours and sneaking away. But also, there is a perspective of protection too, of trying to protect what is yours from somebody taking it. So that's really interesting for the debate. So starting with Hillary, in the middle we have the Fool. So we have, looking bright-eyed, fancy-free, being excited about where they are. Because, we have the Knight of Discs right in the recent past. So this is like almost, I feel like the Knight of Discs is a very steady course, very steady in what they're doing and what they need to do, and it's hard for them to veer off sometimes. They can be very stubborn, but it's also slow moving, slow going, slow growth. But it's still moving forward, and so Hillary's always been moving forward, even if it seemed at a very slow pace. However, in the recent future, in the future, we have the Five of Cups. And so this is, sadness, depression, focusing on the negative when there's still positive there, wishing that, she still had those 3 cups when there's still 2 left. So she's like looking forlorn, like, oh, this is regret. So, and that's in her future. What she has going for her, though, is the Knight of Swords, is that she's very swift and she's quick on her feet, she's quick with her tongue, and she's going to forge forward to her destination, whether or not it's a good idea. And it's interesting because the horse in the Knight of Swords is terrified, doesn't like where they're going, but the knight is going there anyways. So once again, it kind of comes back to this stubborn idea, the Knight of Discs, the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Knight of Wands too. A lot of knights. So it could be people, but since we're just talking about 2 people, I feel like this is the energy that she's carrying, is that she's just gung-ho and she's ready to go for it. She's ready to fight. She's ready to do it with, in an entertaining way. She's ready to cut down, and, she's going to stay steady the whole entire time. Her obstacles, however, are, she can be sometimes too boastful and be sitting too pretty, excuse me, in that, like, she has everything, or she has that air, like she's better than other people, and that could really be her downfall, is like, people calling her hoity-toity, and, just she's unrelatable, and because of this, she's going to have to really refocus on how she is out in her community, out in the world, out in this campaign. She has to look forward and think, okay, this isn't working. What do I need to do to be more relatable? Now, Donald, on the other hand, has in the middle of the Wheel of Fortune. So he's like, he's got fortune on his side. Absolutely. And also the Seven of Swords here is looking over at Donald. So, like looking back, which is interesting. Now, in his recent past, he has the Five of Swords. Now, with the Five of Swords, we have, a brawl, a fight, going into an argument unprepared, with ill will, not with like the best intention set. And so sometimes people just walk away saying, forget it. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to do it. And then the victor is just, standing there because the other people just didn't want to put up with their C-rap. So, in a way, I feel like this might have been like Donald during the first debate, is that he was constantly, he had to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And, finally people just had to be like, okay, Donald, all right. And then kind of walk away. Now, but things are shifting, and he's changing his approach, and he's changing it to being more of a leader, of a teacher instead of a leader, to be more knowledgeable, to give to those less fortunate in a way, to give to his students, kind of attitude of, instead of being boastful and full of himself, he's going to be a little bit softer and wanting to give and be kinder about it. What he has going for him is, he has justice on his side. So this could be finally putting some things to rest, some legalities to rest, some things that have been, weighing on him. And because of that, it's going to make him, it's going to let him sit pretty. The word of the night is pretty. I think I've said that 3 or 4 times now. Yeah, and so with the justice, I feel like there might be some legalities or something brewing that is finally going to be finished. and with that, he'll be able to rest easy. He'll be able to finally, sleep, because he's taking care of some things that were hanging over him. Now, I'm not bringing up any specific issues that have been going on between the two, just because if you read the newspaper, then you know what he said lately and how Hillary's reacting. We're just looking at the energies. So remember, this is for fun. This is just to look at and then watch the debate and see if how these energies really played in. The obstacles he has is, well, women. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. So having these two energies kind of as his obstacles is, I don't think he really knows how he wants to relate in this regard. The Queen of Wands is a fiery feminine energy, is, wants to entertain, but wants to really, reach people in a spiritual way, and and hit with fire. And then also the Queen of Cups, wants to hit the emotion and wants to make people feel better, wants to take care of them. And so he's trying to go to that approach, but it's just not his nature. He's a businessman, he's more of a swords type person. So these are kind of like not his strong suits. And Hillary has that as her strong suit over here with the wands in a positive aspect. So it's what he has to work on is how is he going to relate to people and reach their spirit, reach their emotion in a positive way. And so, looking at this spread, let's just pull one card more for each one of them, just to see kind of how the debate will end. Like, who will win? Who will win? Who will win the debate? Hillary or Donald? Hillary. This one, Donald. All right. So we have Temperance for Hillary, and we have Transformation or Death for Donald. So here we go. With these two cards, I would definitely say it's just, how interesting is that? 13, 14. I would say Hillary wins the debate, just because she has found her balance and she knows how to walk in her light. And so she feels comfortable at extremes, because she knows where to be in the middle. And Donald is in the midst of transitioning into something else. He is going to be changing how he portrays himself, how his campaign is going to go. And so this might just be, the beginning of something bigger for Donald. With this campaign, but he's realizing that he has to kind of shift how he is, who he is, and how people see him, and let a part of him, go that is no longer working, so that he can transform into the Queen of Cups in a way. Okay, so yes, I'm not allowing any comments, just because I know people can get really brutal with each other, and that's never my intention. Do not take this personally. This is not a personal reading about you or about me. This is an entertainment reading about Hillary and Donald. So if you want to, you can always email me, and there is a discussion space somewhere on my YouTube channel. I think it's like 3 tabs in. So if you feel really compelled to discuss this, definitely, please do, but do it in a kind, respectful manner where all who are involved will feel respected and loved. because that's the most important thing, is that when we walk through this Hillary debate, this Donald debate, that you keep your own personal integrity and your own mindfulness and your own kindness to each other, because if we do not have those with each other, then we are lost. So always take care of one another in that regard. All right, thank you so much. Love, joy, and blessings.